Good morning, students. Welcome to second term English class. Next week, we are getting a holiday on October 2nd. Do you know the importance of that day? Anyone else? Yes, it is Gandhi Jayanti, the birthday of our father of nation. When was he born? He was born 2nd October 1869. His birthday is celebrated as Gandhi Jayanti. Today, we are going to learn a lesson about him, his childhood days. This story is taken from The Story of My Experiments with Truth, written by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. My childhood days. Can you say any three freedom fighters who have contributed in achieving the country's independence? Yes, our Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, Bhagat Singh, very good, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, so on. But why do we call Mahatma Gandhi as the father of our nation? He is the main person who struggled for us to get freedom from British. So, he has written so many books. So, from The Story of My Experiments with Truth, his childhood experience, one incident that he felt very sorry that happened in the school days. Let us go to the class lesson. Now open your textbook. I will read the lesson. All of you look at your textbook. My childhood days. Read below an excerpt from The Story of My Experiments with Truth by Mohandas Gandhi. My own recollection is that I had no high regard for my ability. I used to be astonished whenever I won prizes and scholarships, but I very jealously guarded my character. The least little blemish drew tears from my eyes. A rebuke from the teacher was unbearable for me. I remember an incident. When I was in the 7th standard, Dogji Edulji Jimmy, the headmaster, then was popular among the boys. He was a disciplinarian, a man of method and a good character. He had made gymnastics and cricket compulsory for boys of the higher grades. I disliked both. I never took part in any exercise, cricket or football before they were made compulsory. My shyness was one of the reasons for this aloofness, which I now see was wrong. I then had the false notion that gymnastics had nothing to do with education. Today I know that physical training should have as much place in the curriculum as mental training. I may mention, however, that I was none the worse for abstaining from exercise. That was because I had read in books about the benefits of long walks in the open air, and having liked the advice, I had formed a habit of taking walks which has still remained with me. These walks gave me a fairly hardy constitution. Today I am going to stop here. Now I am going to explain the lesson. My childhood days is an excerpt from the story of my experiments with truth by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. What is the meaning of excerpt? Taken. Excerpt, taken. It's a new word for you. My own recollection is that I had no high regard of my ability. I used to be astonished whenever I won prizes and scholarship. He never considered himself as a studious person. Even then, he somehow managed to get prizes and scholarship. He used to surprise. But I very jealously guarded my character. He was very careful to keep up his character. The least little blemish drew tears from my eyes. I didn't want to get scoldings from my teachers. See, Gandhiji used to think that he must not get scoldings from his teachers. That made him very painful. So he used to try not to get scoldings from his teachers. So see, children, you have to learn a good lesson from Gandhiji. We must not get scoldings from our teachers. I remember an incident. When I was in 7th standard, Dobji, Edulji Jimmy, the headmaster, then was popular among the boys. When he was studying in 7th standard, the headmaster, Dobji, Edulji Jimmy, was very popular among the boys. He was very strict. The boys were frightened of him. He was a disciplinarian, a man of method, and a good teacher. He had made gymnastics and cricket compulsory for boys of the higher grades. But Gandhiji doesn't like all this. He disliked both. He never took part in any exercises, cricket or football, before they were made compulsory. See, sometimes you also will skip the PT class and games class. You will sit inside the class and saying, I'm having headache, I'm not going for PT. In the same way, Gandhiji also skipped the classes like this, because he was not at all interested in this, doing exercise or playing cricket or football. But the headmaster was very compulsory about this. He made all the boys to participate. Somehow Gandhiji used to find out some excuses to skip. My shyness was one of the reasons for this aloofness, which I now see was wrong. I then had the false notion that gymnastics had nothing to do with education. Today, I know that physical training should have as much place in the curriculum as mental training. When he was studying in 7th standard, he didn't know the importance of doing exercise or playing football outside. He had a false notion. What's the meaning of notion? Idea. He had a false notion that gymnastics had nothing to do with education. Today, I know that physical training should have as much place in the curriculum as mental training. When he was writing this story, he realized that the physical training is very important as much as the curriculum as mental training. I may mention, however, that I was none the worse for abstaining from exercise. What's the meaning of abstaining? Keeping oneself from doing something. Keeping oneself from doing something. That means here Gandhiji used to excuse himself from doing exercise. That was because I had read in books about the benefits of long walks in the open air, and having liked the advice, I had formed a habit of taking walks, which has still remained with me. These walks gave me a fairly hardy constitution. Here, constitution means body structure. Having a good body structure. Dear children, Gandhiji loves to read books. So whenever he gets time, he used to read books. And he had read in books about the benefits of long walks. This long walk that he had practiced in his lifetime helped him to maintain a good body structure. Dear students, I'll stop the class here. I hope you have understood so far. There are new words, some difficult words are here. Learn the meanings, and this lesson is little difficult for you. So read the lesson 2 or 3 times. Then only you will understand the meanings thoroughly. The next part we will discuss in the next class. Bye.